Hello and welcome everyone. It's time for another update on the test servers, and today we're talking about the new Asset Manager. So let's quickly have a look at the new features that are now available for testing on our test servers. So the first thing you might notice is that you don't have the asset library icon down here anymore. The reason for that is that when you go to your assets, you now have access to all assets directly from the inspector, from the toolbar inspector of your asset management here. So whatever asset you're looking for, you can automatically find it here, and you don't have to open the asset manager, select them, add them to the quick nav. You don't have to do that anymore. All assets are directly available here. But you now also have an option where you can switch between the Dungeon Fog assets, the one that are automatically provided by us, your uploads, and your collections. So your collections is where you organize the assets in a way that you prefer them to be. So to do so, you can go to the Asset Manager either by clicking on this link or by clicking on Assets here in the upper menu. If we go there, we will be forwarded into a section where we can organize assets in a way that we need them for our maps. That means that I can create a setting myself. So I could say this is the unnamed setting. Let's call this tables. So now I have a new setting called tables with a new category here. I could quickly name that into dinner tables. There you go. Now we have the dinner tables here. And now all I need to do is I need to search for a table. And I can say include search in my collection as well, or only search here in the Dungeon Fog library. And now I can find a table here. There it is. Drag it over, and now I have added it to my collection. Let's take the square wooden table as well. There you go. And as you see, you can now rename them so that they have a name that you prefer, and you can edit them, which means you can decide what the width is, what the height is. It isn't related anymore, so you could create a very long but very thin table that distorts the image. You can auto-rotate the table, and you can do a lot more stuff. Like, for example, you can automatically colorize the table. If you like the setting, you can then copy the setting and apply it to other assets in your asset library as well. So you could define something like, for example, light source settings, copy them, and then paste them on all the other things that you have in there. Now, if you're happy with that, you can also duplicate the table. So you could create, let's say we're creating a table here that is rather brownish. Then we could create another table here that might be, let's find something that fits. Dark. So out of one asset that you have from the Dungeon Fog library, you can go and create a lot of assets that fit your needs, and they are all stored in your settings. So when I'm happy with that, I don't need to save anything. Everything is updated automatically. I go back to my editor, and now I look in my collections, and here I have the tables. And once I take such a table and place it somewhere, there you go. I should have adjusted the width and the height properly. Here I have all of them now accessible for me with the proper color settings and the proper light settings and all the settings that you have applied for that. Now let's quickly check why those tables were distorted. It has a width of 2 cells and a height of 1 cell. So this shouldn't have happened. And that is why things are still on the test server. We will have a look at that. But technically, that is how the asset management works. So you can have your own settings. Like here, I have started building a tree setting. You can add categories. Those could be bushes and so on and so forth. All of them are organized here. And here you find your Dungeon Fog assets and your uploads. Now, again, we are bringing this to the test service today. So have a look at that, check it out. You will definitely find some bugs left. So please let us know in the test server Discord discussion what you have found. And our goal is to bring this asset manager feature to the live servers in the first week of October. So until then, thank you very much and happy testing.